Muchnick, who's a Republican strategist. He joins us live from Potomac, Maryland. And we have Jason Nichols, a Democratic strategist and a lecturer in the African American Studies Department at the University of Maryland. He joins us now from Ellicott City, Maryland. Thanks both for coming back and being with us. That was a long 90 minutes and often very confusing and all over the place. Morgan, there were so many personal attacks and name calling. What have we walked away with? And if you're an undecided voter, has this debate tipped the scale in any meaningful way?
It's a very interesting question. It's a great question. First, very quickly, let me say that my previous point that Maryland is not in play stands. I still believe Maryland is not in play. So me and my fellow guests can both, I think, take solace in that, depending on where you come from. So yes, I think it's unlikely that undecided is going to move towards Trump. I think a few after this might move towards Biden, possibly because they're just annoyed that Trump was so aggressive and sort of bullying, if you will. I think Trump's strategy was to rattle Biden sufficiently that he would say some nonsense. He said a little bit of silly things, but he kind of hung in there better. So I don't think this would help Trump with undecided, although I do think this is probably quite positive for his base. So if there's Republicans that are maybe a little shaky about him, there are many Republicans that aren't thrilled with the president. I think those people are probably more likely, unless they're the never Trump sort of wing of the Republican Party, those people probably like it. If you're true undecided, of which I think there are a few of them, but if you're a true undecided, you probably don't love Trump's aggressive sort of tactics.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Morgan. I think that I think Trump came out swinging a little too hard, a little too far for the fences. I think the coveted group is supposedly suburban women, and I think that they're not going to be moved by this in his direction. I think that, while to me, he did seem a little sharper, even though towards the end you started getting a bunch of falsehoods. But at one point, I thought he was strong, but I felt that he was just a little too aggressive. And I think that was going to turn off some of the people that the Republicans want, and the people that they thought perhaps picking someone like Amy Coney Barrett would actually bring in, that working suburban mom. I think is a coveted group right now. And there are some undecided people because some of them are conservative, but don't like Trump's comportment. And he didn't do himself any favors by continuing to interrupt, by going after families, which people don't generally like, even if it's Hunter Biden, which is completely immaterial to this election. I think people were, could very well be annoyed by some of what they saw. Not even going into the facts of what they were saying, but just by the contrast in their behavior. And one person, I think, appeared slightly, I'd say a good amount more presidential than the other. I think Trump came out just too aggressive tonight. I think it's probably his most aggressive performance. I don't think he's ever been that aggressive, even with Hillary Clinton. I don't think he was that aggressive or, as aggressive as he was tonight.